What's up, you guys? After Reacts here, and today I'm going to be reacting to some more Stargate SG-1. This is Season 5, Episode 21. We're going to be finishing Season 5 today, so that's exciting. Yeah, let's go over the comments. I've seen this episode a lot, as many times I've rewatched the show. Every time I saw Danielle in the flash, something in the back of my mind thought she looked familiar. Last year, a friend of mine sent me a message saying he is rewatching this episode and that woman from The Flash was in it. I was confused as to who and looked it up online, and I felt like such an idiot. After all these years, I never realized it was her despite seeing her name and face frequently. Yeah, so that's the thing. Sometimes it can just, like, escape you entirely. I mean, that doesn't really happen to me all that often, but it does happen. Sometimes you just don't recognize someone and you're like, is that who I think it is? Maybe? I don't know. I don't think you're an idiot for it, though. I think it's an easy mistake to make. Nice one, Tony. I see what you did there. Cecile, flash intro. Yeah. This is a good episode. Nice origin story for the replicators, aka Lego monsters. I bet Freya doesn't know where they came from. Now, does he? Huh? Yeah, I thought so. Hammond looking badass in camo there. Loved that. I think I prefer the ending that we got. Daniel standing in front of Cecile and her deciding to stop the replicator seems like a bit more cliche to me. I mean, I think either way it was cliche, but okay. This was keep the integrity of the characters, Daniel the peacemaker fighting to get her to surrender while Jack the soldier killing the enemy. I mean, how many times have they, like, ruined the integrity of the characters, though, just to service the story? I'm just saying. This is emphasized by Daniel yelling at Jack. She would have stopped them, and Jack saying she didn't, you didn't know that. Both stayed true to their characters. Danielle is a psychic robot vampire. She should be unstoppable. Yeah. Hell yeah, I guessed that one. But only thanks to Danielle. Lol, nice intro. By the way, I don't know if her voice being high-pitched like this is because that it's actually her voice, or if it was intentional since Reese has a mind of a child. Maybe. I mean, it's possible that, like, I know that, like, your voice kind of deepens a little bit over time, I think. So there's that. I don't know. Which was technically a smart idea. She was created as a child so she can age and learn like a human, but she never did. Actually, we don't know if she was actually defective and never grew up, or if she just didn't have time because her planet was destroyed. Yeah. I always find it funny when you call the replicated Lego monsters, since, you know, they end up being a girl's toy. Yeah. Yeah, literally. I always liked that origin story. I mean, for, like, the Lego monsters are kind of not great villains, in my opinion. But I like that they gave them, I like the origin story they went with here. Call me stupid, but I always had a hard time believing that this very advanced android would be irreparably damaged by a handful of pieces of lead. You're telling me the very smart beings that are the Asgard would be incapable of fixing her? Bitch, please. Yeah, no, you're right. I agree entirely. Especially since replicators, like, she created the replicators, and they replicate whatever. So shouldn't she replicate whatever? Then again, like, their bullets seem to hurt replicators. I don't know. I don't know if you've noticed, but Teal'c wasn't very present in the opening scene when the team find Reese. Apparently the scene was shot in 9/11. I was actually told about this. When they heard the news of the terrorist attacks, Christopher Judge requested to be in the background instead of the forefront because he was so emotionally broken up. He had family in New York at the time. I'm actually kind of on Jack's side here. I understand Daniel, but she was losing control over them. She had already lost it back on her planet, and they killed everyone. And then they went on to kill other worlds. It was actually a miracle that she not only still had the control to destroy them, but actually made the decision to do so. Sure, Daniel seemed to be about to convince her to do it, but we've seen her change her mind or freak out with the flip of the switch multiple times in that conversation alone, much less throughout the entire episode. I guess. There really was no way of knowing if she would have done it. Daniel could have easily said something seemingly innocent but wrong in her childlike mind and triggered her again. I guess, you know. And she could have lost control over them by the time he truly convinced her to do it. We're talking about the fate of the entire world here and other worlds. Jack simply couldn't take that risk. I love Daniel, but he was very, very naive here. I personally think that she only did it because she looked at him and saw genuine concern and relief in his eyes, and only then realized that he was sincere about his promises and affection for her. Alright, you convinced me. Also, about one of the comments at the beginning, the one about why Sam and Teal'c couldn't detect the symbiote. They could and did, but they are only able of detecting the presence of a snake, not its entity. And they would have no way of knowing whether the symbiote they're sensing is a Jafar or Goa'uld in control of the host. They are, after all, the same species, just different stages of maturity. Right, okay. Apparently, according to Joseph Malozzi, he came into work that day while they were wrapped on the second unit of 518 and had started the main unit photography of 519, and everyone who wasn't filming was in a conference room silently watching the news. Due to real life events, Danielle Nicolette's fight was cancelled and she had to stay in Vancouver for a couple more days. Kind of weird to think about it, I suppose. Yeah. Okay, Tony, that might be my favourite. Looked amazing, and I'm sure it was a pain to do. Well done, sir. Yes, it was very cool. I'm not gonna lie. The NID guys were in the military. They committed treason while the US was engaged in hostile activities with foreign nation, the Goa'uld. The punishment for that is usually death. It just seems a bit harsh, I don't know. Doesn't have to be, but it's not unheard of. In this case, most likely sentenced to death to keep them from ever talking to anyone in the prison about the Stargate program. After all, the alternate would be life in prison, and that's a long time to keep them in solitary confinement. The surprising thing is that they are still alive. When sentenced to death in military, it's usually done quickly. Maybe. Yeah. The actual regulation states whoever owing allegiance to the United States levies war against them or adheres to the enemies, giving them aid and comfort within the United States or elsewhere, is guilty of treason and shall suffer death. Yikes. As for the episode, I didn't think it's that bad, but it had its moments, but definitely not one of the favorites. When I rewatch, I usually just skip this one. Oh, there you go. It was most decidedly a pain. I felt very unsure if this one came out alright. I was unable to turn SG-1 into cartoons the way that we see the characters in the actual Marvel intros. And SG-1 only has 4 characters, whereas the Avengers have many, adding random characters like Thor. But Also, mains like Hammond and Fraser made it look janky. Also, the puddle in the background I put in there is not to show off, but because the Marvel background made a transition with only 4 characters look really dull. And the wormhole was my way of getting past Captain America throwing the shield. Anyway, just wanted to explain how much effort went into this one. Thanks. Didn't guess this one. I thought maybe Charmed, but nope. So I think maybe next week. Maybe. Since it is the week of the finale, this will be the last 2 intros, actually. Like, the last 2 Tony made intros. Also, Jesus fucking Christ, Tony, this one had to take so long. Probably your best intro, though. I'm worried for you, though, you madman. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. Daniel with the bullets and the knife will always be iconic, in my opinion. Yeah, like, legit, just, I lost my shit. The Jafar were able to injure Kershaw because the shield only reactivated as she got shot. Just bad timing or luck, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about this episode, so I'm jumping to fun facts from the wiki. Oh, okay, cool. Grogan was improving ground, the training episode. In it, every time his squad entered combat, he was shot, injured, or stunned. Since he was the only surviving member of his SG team in this episode, either the other members of the Diplomatic Corps SG team were unlucky, poorly trained, or Grogan has learned much since then. Though it's most likely he survived after his team was gone, and at least partially due to passing out and being passed by. And he did get knocked out again. There you go. While it's possible, though highly improbable, that the machine only works on Goa'uld, and Tilk was spared because he was inside the force field, it's most likely that the Sentinel has somehow the means to determine whether someone is an enemy or not. There is a human component after all. The machine might be able to determine who's the enemy from the caretaker's mind once they become one. Oh, yeah, true, I guess. Yeah. Okay. Chevron's man name tag is Norman Davis, despite his first name being established as Walter in 2010. Oh, okay. Svarog first appeared in The Summit, the episode where the System Lords had a little reunion. He was the Goa'uld with the green paint on his face. It is implied he died in orbit off screen. Okay. Took a bunch of tries getting it right, and I'm still not happy with the end result, but I'm glad people liked it nonetheless. As for your guesses, it's definitely a show I looked into since it's one of Shanna's favorites. However, I don't know, to try and pull it off, I think I would probably take a new level of commitment, which even I dare not to go to. We'll see. Okay, we'll see. Yeah, I get that. I did a few opening credits in Charm style in the past, and it does take a lot of time. I would offer to do it, but my Vegas refuses to open AVI files. Well, you can use a program called Handbrake, which changes the size and file type. That's a thing. I'm just spitballing. Because it's really annoying that, yeah, Vegas definitely doesn't like AVI files. I know, it's really annoying. In the USA, treason is a crime punishable by death, and that is what they were all convicted for. In real life, however, there has not been a person convicted of treason since the 1950s, and from what I can tell, only one person has ever been executed for it. All the rest were imprisoned. Okay. Cool. Someone was speaking about an asteroid named Anubis. Side note, back in 2004, the astronomers found an asteroid that was believed to be what that they believed was on a potential collision course with Earth in 2029. Well, I hope we've dealt with that. The astronomers were fans of Stargate and named their discovery after a certain Goa'uld who refuses to die for 5 seasons. Yeah, that's right. Apophis is out there. And before you go into panic mode, it's been said later that it isn't going to hit us. We're safe. He's fucking hoping. If, and I'm very much stressing the word if here, there's sufficient movement on this rumored new Stargate show, which will sadly not be a Brad Wright show. So chances are it'll be a reboot, which, then I'm suspecting they will be able to add it after Universe ends, which by my last calculation was going to be April 2025, given no unforeseen circumstances. But there will always be unforeseen circumstances. So, keep that in mind. April 2025. We've got a while, you guys. That was not a happy accident fruit. I specifically picked the Flash intro for 519 since Cecile was in the episode. I sadly didn't do a proper intro like they did on the Flash. I was a bit ashamed of how this week's intros came out, but I guess you still like this one. Hopefully the Marvel one isn't too bad either. Hey, they were great. They were great. Don't hate your work. So I got curious and skipped ahead to the intro of 520, as I said last week's notes. As for the second episode, maybe something like Star Trek, where the camera pans through space and we see cool looking planets. But that would require me relearning some 3D visual effects programs, and I would never do that, would I? Maybe, I don't know, you're a bit extra. Damn straight fruits, I did get into relearning 3D visual effects programs, and let me tell you, yes, I had a template, but I had to customize the camera movements of the 3D textures, and it wasn't easy making the Marvel intro into an SG-1 intro, so I'm sorry it wasn't movie quality. It was good, sharp, it was good. Hey, I have a cat in here. Hello, cat. It's Smudge. Hello, Smudge, what are you doing? Hey, Smudgy. Hey. Oh, okay, she's gotten into a ball. Sorry, I was sent some straws and like a giant box, and the box is currently just sitting there, and she's just helped herself to the box. She's just laying in the box now. Anyways, let me continue. Keep in mind I only learned all this editing stuff because I'm helping you. Yes. And I suppose it's safe to say never underestimate the lengths I go to. Extra is probably the right word. Yeah. You just gonna lay down in the... She's just literally gonna lay down in the box. How do I... I can't really, like, show you her, because she's like... Oh, no, she's leaving now. I was going to take a picture and then show the picture this way, but whatever. While O'Neill's suggestion to Daniel to kiss Renee came out of nowhere, he might have sounded odd. I think the joke was to have Prince Charming wake up Sleeping Beauty with a kiss. I suppose some jokes don't age well. I suppose maybe Daniel is putting on a bit of a pitch. I suppose Danielle is putting on a bit of a pitch to her voice to indicate she's kind of a kid almost. Danielle was 28 years old when this episode aired, so I think it's mostly a creative decision. Although it's not uncommon for some women of her age to have a slightly pitched voice, I suppose. You good? Do you want to come watch Stargate with me? No? Maybe you'll like it. Smudge, smudge. Smudge, smudge. Come here. Yeah. Hello. Hello. She's just sitting there looking at me. I love her. Anyway, sorry. It's really strange. She's like 28 years old there, but it's like she looks really young. Yeah, no fruits. Reese wasn't a former replicator. She created them. Not sure how or why they left our galaxy for all the Asgard galaxy without completely fucking over ours in the process. But TV show's got a TV show.
TV show's got a TV show.
Yeah. The previously on was slightly altered for 520. The two actors playing the criminals who SG-1 take with them to the planet weren't in the episode shown on the previously on. Okay. Yeah, not really sure why SG-1 needs to bring these two criminals along. Dude claims Sam couldn't fix the device. Bish, Sam can basically do anything. She would have been able to figure out the machine with the help of Daniel's puzzle-solving skills added later. Then again, it might have been a good thing that they came along, because dude disappeared after he used the device on the Jafars. Rather him disappearing than one of the SG-1 members, am I right? Yeah, I mean, they are cannon fodder, right? They are red shirts. I haven't seen Star Trek, and I know that's a term. Leave me alone, I'm smart. Yeah, normally it'd be O'Neill coming up with the quick wit, but Daniel got a zinger in there with the whole which end of the bullets go again? Holding a knife. Dude, was it hurting her off? Yeah, it's pretty funny. I was thinking they got a full life sentence and them helping SG-1 would make it like 15 years or something, but they were sentenced to death for treason. Mind you, they weren't even successful. It's a bit much. Yeah, I do think it was a bit much. So I looked up the transcript for 520 because I wasn't sure either what the Goa'uld voice was saying when the planet was bombarded from space. I'm Svarog. From this day forth, you will serve me. Could you imagine someone on the other end being like, what? I can't understand what you're saying. Why do you sound like you have a voice modulator? Why are you being so extra for? Yeah, see, this is an issue that I have with voice modulators. Sometimes it's really difficult to understand what they're saying. And it's like, just don't do it. You know, this scene with O'Neill trying to talk the old geezer into coming with them. He's playing it out a bit too casual. The planet is being bombarded and they're just having a nice talk. Like, how is this old man not shitting his pants right now? I don't know, man. Maybe he's seen some shit. I'm assuming the device knew who to get rid of and who not to, because it was being controlled by a person. However, otherwise, yeah, it would have just gotten rid of everyone. And if it was set to only get rid of Jafar and Goa'uld, Tilk would have been gone too. Yeah. I very much agree. Not every episode is going to be great. I've seen this show many times. There's definitely some duds here or there. It happens with all shows, especially those with 10 seasons worth of episodes. What the hell are you doing? You're about to finish season 5, Fritz, and as you are aware, they are moving over to sci-fi. These are the final 2 episodes, and of course there's bound to be some things happening that change the status quo. Before you watch the episodes, any thoughts on what you think the changes might be? I'm curious to see those prediction powers of yours in action. See, this is what I was not looking forward to, making predictions. I don't like them, because if they come true, then I feel, because if they come true, I feel like I'm being judged. Like, I feel like people are like, you've seen this show before, when I haven't. Like, I haven't. But, like, that's just how I feel if I get things correct, because I'm paranoid about things. And then if I don't get things correct, and then I can feel disappointed. So I don't know, maybe we'll have a new SG member. Maybe we'll get a new general. I feel like the general is kind of replaceable, maybe. I mean, he's great. Hammond is great. But I feel like he would be one of the replaceables. I don't know. You're asking a lot of me. Not only that, you're asking for, as for the final 2 custom intros, you've been asking for others, but any guesses on what you're in for? I want you to actually guess. I'm gonna say this. I legit can't do this Smallville 3D effects, so it's not happening. But, besides, I don't like repeating the same show twice. Fair. Okay, because you want me to, I'm just going to guess, either Charmed or Buffy. Either one of those would be, interesting to see. They both seem quite difficult to create, so I don't know. That's what you're getting. That's all you're getting. I hope you guys are excited. Let's get into it. Roar!
Colonel, what happened?
Details a little sketchy, sir.
We were not present at the time of the incident.
Don't touch me. You may still be radioactive.
Let's get him to go down. Do we know what kind and how much?
We think his right hand was exposed to the equivalent of over 8 to 9 grays of neutron radiation resulting from direct contact. Full body exposure of over 7.
Doctor.
It's a lethal dose, sir.
Well. This episode, Daniel is exposed to radiation. I got one right.
Dr. Fraser tells me there's nothing more we can do for Dr. Jackson at the moment.
This is incredible. It is a pleasure to meet you. I'm Jonas Quinn. I'm special advisor to our High Minister.
Security's a little tight around here.
As you've undoubtedly been told, this is one of our most secret and important research operations.
Jack O'Neill.
Colonel Jack O'Neill, Major Sam Carter, and the tall,
Well, he's
silent
just
one is
happy to
Teal'c.
touch people. No, are we?
Teal'c.
Wait, is this a flashback
Well,
of what
your arrival on
happened?
our planet is an extraordinary
I'm
event.
confused.
It's my honor to show you around this facility. Please follow me.
He's an advisor to the High Minister.
Oh, I
They're
think so. They're
equivalent to
retelling
our
of what
president.
happened.
As we understand it,
Oh my
Jonas
God,
is
we're not
responsible for
experiencing a,
overseeing the research from an ethical perspective.
Yeah.
Flashback episode? What? I don't know.
He had several degrees from their most honored
what it's called.
education institution.
He was a nerd, sir. He and Daniel got along great.
What is this?
The core of this device was uncovered in an ancient temple of a race of people we believe were called the Goa'uld.
Goa'uld.
The Goa'uld.
It's a mineral substance found to have highly unstable radioactive properties.
Our translation of the writings in the temple indicate that the alien element is called Naquadria.
Naquita.
No, we also translated that word in the same text. This is definitely Naquadria.
So this is some sort of power generating device?
Not exactly.
They were making a bomb, sir.
The nausea will be followed by tremors, convulsions, and something called ataxia. Surface tissue, brain tissue, and internal organs will inflame and degrade. I believe that's called necrosis. Now, based on the dose of radiation I got, all that will happen in the next 10 to 15 hours. And if I don't drown in my own blood and fluids first, I will bleed to death. And there is no medical treatment to prevent that.
Maybe not that we know of.
Jack, we don't go running to our off-world allies every time an individual's life's at stake. And don't go telling me this is any different, because my life is no more valuable than anybody else's.
What happened?
That doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
You didn't try to sabotage anything.
There was an accident. I guess the scientists figured the government would hold them responsible. I guess they figured it was easier to blame me.
And you're okay with this?
No, but there's not much I can do about that.
Yes, there is.
If they really want to blame me, denying it isn't going to change anything. 10,000 years ago, Goa'uld tried the same experiments that they're trying, and he nearly blew the entire planet to bits. I tried telling them that, they wouldn't listen. They're going to build that bomb, and nothing we say is going to stop them.
Got anything?
Well, I've been doing some calculations. Based on the amount of radiation the Colonans say Daniel was exposed to, I've estimated the amount of energy that would have been generated by the experiment.
And?
The potential's astronomical, sir. Even a very small amount of the unstable element they're working with emitted a pulse of energy far greater than anything I've ever believed possible. Much more than weapons-grade Nakwita would have. It would require a massive nuclear reaction to even approach this level.
So?
Well, sir, this could be the missing link we've been looking for in terms of generating the kind of energy I believe is necessary to create a hyperspace window. Or to generate and sustain the kind of shields the Goa'uld have been using to protect their ships. Sir, we have to get some of this element.
Colonel O'Neill. I'm surprised to see you.
My superior thinks that denying the allegations against Daniel would be a waste of time.
He's a wise man. What I don't understand is why your government is even trying to maintain a relationship with us.
Because we want some of that stuff you're experimenting with. My government still thinks they can negotiate for it.
The Naquadria is very spare and extremely valuable to us. I doubt that my government would ever agree to that.
That's why I'm here.
I don't understand.
I only agreed to bring that letter so I could see you.
Why?
Daniel is dying.
And you're looking for someone to blame?
Yeah.
I'm not going to let you tarnish his name. See, I don't care what that stuff is worth to anyone. My government will admit Daniel is guilty over my dead body.
What do you want?
Oh.
Just tell the truth.
I can't.
You can.
Even if I wanted to, without the support of the other scientists.
Look, we're only in this mess because you and your buddies are lying cowards trying to cover your own incompetence.
Colonel, we desperately need the weapon we're developing. Without it, the Colonian people could easily fall to our rival nations who are developing their own powerful weapons as we speak. Now, we're willing to do whatever's necessary to ensure our freedom and a lasting peace on this planet.
All right, let me be clear about something. I think this is the point Daniel was trying to make. A weapon of mass destruction can only be used for one thing. Now, you might think it'll ensure peace and freedom, but I guarantee you, it'll never have the effect you're hoping for until you use it. At least once. Now, just for the record, the reason we want that stuff is because we think it could be used to create defense shields. But you just go ahead. Blow yourselves to hell with it.
He really cares about him.
He looks awful.
It's gonna get a lot worse. And it's gonna happen fast.
I'm sure you're doing everything you can.
Sedatives and painkillers, that's all we can really do. You have no idea how painful this is going to get. You know, I'd never normally say this. It goes against everything I've been trained to do, but the truth is, you'd be a lot better off if I...
What?
Daniel. I didn't suggest this before because, well, the truth is I'm not really sure what I'm doing with this thing. I could make things worse.
It's easy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Easy.
What?
Your fate is in your hands.
Oh.
I'm really bad at this.
Yes, you are. I hate it. Sam thinks Quadria might be an important discovery.
Apparently. If we can get some. For what it's worth, tried to get your point across to Jonas.
He's in a tough position.
You're not gonna take the fall for this. I don't care what's at stake.
Why do you care?
Because despite the fact that you've been a terrific
pain in the ass for the last 5 years. Might have grown to admire you a little.
I think.
That's touching.
This will not be your last act on official record.
Oma de Sala. I felt like I knew you like we'd met before, but you look different.
Lightning flashes, spark shower in one blink of your eyes you have misseen.
What did you mean when you said my fate is in my hands?
When the mind is enlightened, the spirit is freed and the body matters not.
You're talking about ascension, about rising to a different plane of existence. Are you saying that I could do that? Become like you?
You must complete the journey you began at Kep. Only then will you be able to find your way to the great path.
What do I do?
Release your burden.
Okay, well, consider it released. What's step 2?
A tall man cannot hide in the short grass.
You know, I don't have time for one of these kind of conversations.
One cannot reach enlightenment by running from death.
Tell me what to do.
Many roads lead to the great path. Only the willing will find their way.
Okay, well, I'm willing. So let's go. I mean, do your thing. Flow me.
The river tells no lies. Though standing on the shore, the dishonest man still hears them.
I didn't think it was going to be that easy.
What are you doing here? Your commander was kind enough to grant my passage. I brought this. The Quadria. Took as much as I could.
Why?
The data recorded during that accident demonstrated the potential power of the weapon unlike anything collected previously. I really don't know what was worse, seeing my colleagues die in the manner they did, or seeing the looks of utter glee on our leaders' faces when they were told the potential power of this weapon. They wanted to know when it could be demonstrated. I told them the truth about what happened.
Good.
Given the chance, you would deny us this technology?
I can't predict what would happen to your people or your planet with or without the weapon. I just wish there was another way.
The energy readings are increasing by a power of 10.
Incredible.
Did you see that?
Get down! Stay away from the glass!
What's happening?
This device could explode.
You have to remove the core.
Dr. Jackson!
Who's trying to be a hero?
No, Dr. Jackson!
Who's being a hero?
Millions could still die.
The future's never certain. You saved many without regard for your own life.
Could have destroyed the device.
You believe your journey is still not over.
Actually, I'm not entirely sure what the point of my journey so far has been. I mean, if this is about being honest with yourself, I believe my entire life has been a failure.
Just so you know, Jonas had a change of heart. He stole some of the Quadria for us. He took a big risk. He said it was because of what you did. I think it could be important, and I wanted you to know that. You have an effect on people, Daniel. The way you look at things, it changed me too. I see what really matters. I don't know why we wait to tell people how we really feel. I guess I hoped that you always do.
You can never reach enlightenment if you do not believe you are worthy.
Then I guess we may have a problem.
You once gave me this. You said that its spirit would one day serve its owner in the afterlife.
Thanks. I'm not dead yet, but I guess it doesn't look so good right now.
If you are to die, Daniel Jackson, I wish you to know that I believe that the fight against the Goa'uld will have lost one of its greatest warriors. And I will have lost one of my greatest friends.
Because it is so clear, it takes a long time to realize it. If you immediately know the candlelight is fire, the meal was cooked a long time ago.
Yeah, the monk at Keb said that to me. I don't know what it meant then, and I still don't know now.
Why do you feel you have failed on your journey? You opened the Stargate for your world.
I cracked the code. A lot of other people made it work.
The very next thing you did was help free the people of Abydos from evil.
Oh, there's the clip
I
show
had a chance
element.
to live out my life with her. I couldn't leave it alone. I was the one that unburied the gate. What happened to her was my fault. I couldn't save Shari. I couldn't save Sarah. Every Goa'uld I helped eliminate, another one took its place. Maybe I did something good every now and again, but nothing I've ever done seems to have changed anything.
These tasks of which you speak were great challenges. Perhaps they were even impossible to achieve.
Does that absolve me?
You feel your journey must continue until you have found redemption for these failures?
No, not anymore. Not if I'm dead.
Exactly true.
You said I was the only one qualified to judge myself. So no matter how much I want to achieve enlightenment or whatever you want to call it, what happens if I look at my life and I don't honestly believe I deserve it?
The success or failure of your deeds does not add up to the sum of your life. Your spirit cannot be weighed. Judge yourself by the intention of your actions and by the strength with which you faced the challenges that have stood in your way.
What if I can't?
The people closest to you have been trying to tell you that you have made a difference, that you did change things for the better.
Not enough.
The universe is vast, and we are so small. There is really only one thing we can ever truly control.
What's that?
Whether we are good or evil.
What's going on?
It's Daniel.
I do not know if I can save him. And even if I can, I do not believe I can restore his full, healthy state.
Do what you can.
You're leaving? You can't leave?
The rest is up to you.
Why me? Why give me this chance?
Anyone can reach enlightenment. Anyone prepared to open their mind as you did when you first came to Cap.
They're trying to save me. They're healing me. I can feel it.
Then your journey will continue as before.
What if I don't want it to? Not that way.
Walking the great path brings great responsibility. You cannot fear it nor hesitate in your resolve.
I understand. I'm ready to go with you.
Then stop them.
How?
Daniel,
Yeah.
did you want something?
Tell Jacob to stop.
Why?
Because I'm ready to move on.
You just giving up?
No. No. I'm not giving up, believe me. You remember Oma?
Sure.
I think I can do more this way. It's what I want. I have to go now. Everything's gonna be fine. Please, Jack. Tell Jacob to stop.
Jacob. Stop. Are you serious? It's what he wants.
Someone else want to tell me what to do?
Just let him go.
Colonel?
I'm gonna miss you guys.
Yeah. You too.
Thank you. For everything.
So, see you around.
I don't know. Hey,
Where are you going?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, what? Really? What? What? It's like the second last episode of the season and it's like, what, Daniel's dead? What? I'm not gonna lie, I just kind of, this is making me want to grab the season 6 box set and take a look at the picture. I'm not gonna, don't worry. Pretty good episode. I'm just like lost. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you in the next one.